Welcome back to another week of Power Rankings. My name is Hunter, and today we're going to dive into all 32 teams following week 4. What a week of games it was. We learned so much about every team this week, and just a lot to get into. But before we get into it, like and subscribe. I'm continuing to pump out content the best I can amidst my college schedule and everything, and just subscribing would do a lot for me. And let's get into it. Number 32, I have the Tennessee Titans. They're 0-4. They looked absolutely horrible on Sunday. They didn't score a point. We know what Cam Ward said in the post-game press conference. They're terrible, and there's not much hope here. A quarter into the season, this team hasn't won a game and just hasn't shown too much signs of life. And Brian Callahan is definitely on the hot seat going into these next few games. Number 31, I have the New Orleans Saints, who jump up a spot because I just think they played a better game than the Titans did this week. And the Saints, they played a close game until late with the Bills. Definitely a lot better than I would have thought they were going to play this game. And genuinely saw good stuff out of Rattler. Um, and just not a bad game for the Saints. Number 30, I have the Jets. They jump up a spot because the Titans did worse as well. And this team is 0-4. It's just a losing culture at this point. What's the problem with the Jets that every quarterback that they have just cannot perform well? Justin Fields did not play well last night, and their defense, they allowed a offense that's been pretty much stagnant the whole year to have their best game of the year, and their offense was just it's just they're not putting together anything. And the Jets are 0-4 for a reason, and they go into their game against the Cowboys with lots to improve on. Number 29, I have the Miami Dolphins. They jump up one spot with their win over the Jets. Miami loses Tyreek Hill for the season. That was a very bad injury. Prayers up to him. And Miami just needs to look better, but they got the win, and that is a season-saving win. They're still alive, 1-3 through the first quarter of the season, and can they get something going? I don't see much happening out of this team, but definitely a morale boosting and season saving win over the Jets. Number 25, I have the Panthers, who suffered another destructive loss. They got destroyed on Sunday against the Patriots. Bryce Young did not look good again. He hasn't looked good in 3 of the 4 games this season. The Panthers defense was not good at all. Just maybe their worst game of the season. And it's yet another blowout. And this Panthers team that I thought was going to take another step up seems like they might be taking a step down from last season. Number 27, I have the Raiders. Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions again. That's unacceptable. He has more interceptions than touchdowns this season. The guy you brought in to stabilize that quarterback position has just not looked good for the Raiders. Ashton Jeanty broke out, though. That was great to see. Finally getting a good game. And I think that's going to be the main forefront of this offense going forward. I think Ashton Jeanty is going to be the main guy. They're going to do a run-based offense, and that's how the Raiders can climb back into the playoff picture. For now, I have them at number 27. Number 26, I have the Browns. Their offense was not good once again. Quinshon Judkins had yet another good game. Another rookie running back that I think could take the forefront of that offense. The defense was solid at times, but playing one of the best offenses in the league obviously wasn't going to be as good, and Cleveland drops to 26. Number 25, I have the Bengals. I am out on Cincinnati. They have looked terrible since Joe Burrow got hurt. Last night, they didn't get across the 50-yard line after that first drive. Just not good at all. Jake Browning, I don't think he's the answer at quarterback. And Zach Taylor might be on the hot seat. He might be gone very soon. This defense is playing better than it did last season, but their offense has completely flipped from one of the best to one of the worst, just with the Joe Burrow injury. It'll be interesting to see, does Cincinnati go another route at quarterback, or do they fire Zach Taylor? Definitely change needs to happen. Number 24, I have the Giants. Jackson Dart was excellent in his debut. Cam Scatterbo was also great. Kind of that new identity for the Giants, but Malik Neighbors tore his ACL. He'll be out for the year. But that opens up a spot for some of their other receivers, like a Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton. The New York Giants have a easier game against the Saints coming up. Definitely momentum boosting win over the Chargers, who I had as the top 3 team in football. And can the Giants keep it going in week 5? We will wait to see. Number 23, I have the Texans. This team is still alive. They pick up a huge win over the Tennessee Titans to get their first win of the year. And they go into their game against the Ravens with finally a game where their offense looked competent. CJ Stroud did not look as good as he's been in the past, but if you get another game like that, you could beat a Ravens team where their defense has been awful the whole season. And the Texans could start to build momentum here, something they're going to need to do if they want to jump back into the AFC South picture. Number 22, I have the Arizona Cardinals. They dropped 5 spots. They did not really look great for most of the quarters of this game. Kyler Murray had a bunch of bad throws. Marvin Harrison made mistakes. Their defense made some key mistakes. Their fourth quarter, they picked it up. They made it a close game. But once again, it's a mistake. Chad Ryland didn't even get it in the landing zone, and that's why they lose the game. Just mistake after mistake with the Cardinals. And they've quickly gone from 2-0 to 2-2. And the Cardinals are going to need to fix stuff up if they want to have a winning season this year. Number 21, I have the New England Patriots. Drake May was great. Their whole offense was great. Their defense was great. Just a complete football game. The best game we've seen from the Patriots so far this season. And going into their game against the Bills, they have a chance. They looked good in that game. And if they can carry that over when they visit Buffalo, they could potentially win that game. And New England could start to be building something here, something that I expected out of them going into the season. Number 20, I have the Cowboys. They tie with the Packers, but Dak Prescott with another excellent game. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in football this year. Their defense, definitely a lot to be desired. The defense has put together 4 bad performances, but the offense has been great. And the Cowboys just play fun football. They play high-scoring football. And in a season where you're not expecting much from the Cowboys, they're at least putting together fun football games. And they're going to play the Jets this week. Hopefully get back to 500. But we will see. Number 19, I have the Atlanta Falcons, who beat the Commanders. The Commanders didn't have Jane Daniels, but it doesn't matter. The offense came alive. In week 3, the offense was dead. They didn't score a single point. They didn't get past the 30-yard line the entire game against the Panthers. In this game, it was a team effort. Every weapon on the offense was scoring, and that's the type of football that I expect the Falcons to be playing. Number 18, I have the Chicago Bears. They jump up 2 spots. And another great game. They get the field goal block late. Caleb Williams is better. They put together 2 good football games to get back to 500, and that's the type of football that Ben Johnson wants out of this team. And the Bears are slowly, they have their bye week this week, but they're slowly climbing back up into the NFC North picture. And in a division that is very competitive, the Bears are not out of it. They actually look like they could be contending. Number 17, the biggest dropper of the whole week, I have Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, he's dealing with an injury now. Derrick Henry has fumble issues. The whole defense is hurt. The Ravens, it's just not their year. And going into their game against the Texans, it's a must win. If the Ravens drop to 1-4, I'm fully convinced that they're missing the playoffs this year. This is the team that I had winning the Super Bowl because they were just so talented at almost every position. And they've proven me wrong. That this team might not even make the playoffs. They might not even finish in the top half of the AFC North. That's just how it's been for the Ravens, and lots of issues to fix. The defense needs to be better. The offense needs to be better. Mistakes need to be fixed, and the Ravens just need to completely change the way they've played through the first 4 weeks. Number 16, I have the Minnesota Vikings, who they lost the game against the Steelers. Carson Wentz did not play his best. The defense made some plays, but just not a good enough football game from the Vikings, who fall to 2-2 on the year. And they play another game overseas against the Browns this week, and then they will come back to the USA for their bye week. But big game coming up. Going into the bye week with a winning record, I feel like is key for this Vikings team, and let's see if they can do it. Number 15, I have the San Francisco 49ers, who take their first loss of the season against the Jaguars. Brock Purdy comes back, and he turns over the ball so many times. It's just not good enough from Brock Purdy, where they were getting better play out of Mac Jones this season. And the Niners were a team that they're suffering with so many injuries. This team, if they weren't hurt, I would be a lot more confident in them. But just the injuries and then the way they looked on Sunday, I'm just not confident on how this Niners team is going to do. But big test for them. They have the Rams on Thursday. If they can win that game, I'll be back in on the Niners. But for now, I have them at 15. Number 14, I have the Washington Commanders, who play another game without Jaden Daniels, and they drop it this time against the Falcons. Their offense, a couple turnovers for sure. The defense just need to play better against a team that scored 0 points the week before. And once this team gets healthy, I think they'll be fine. They have the Chargers this week, which is a good test. Can they get Daniels and McLaurin back? I think that's key for their success, but for now, I have them at 14. Number 13, I have the Jaguars. They're a big riser this week because their defense was exceptional, getting 4 turnovers in that game. The offense did enough. Brian Thomas Jr. got over 10 fantasy points for the first time this season. I'm sure that makes a lot of fantasy owners happy. And the Jaguars have just played efficient football through 4 weeks. They've only lost 1 game, and they lost that game in the last 15 seconds of the game. The Jaguars have been pretty much good besides that. They just need that one marquee win, and I don't think they have that just yet. Number 12, I have the Denver Broncos. Dominating defensive performance against the Bengals. They let the Bengals do absolutely nothing in that game. The offense was efficient. Bo Nix made plays. Cortland Sutton had a touchdown. And the Broncos go back to that football that I thought they were going to be playing this season. They get back to 500, and I'm feeling a lot more confident in this Broncos team following that game. Number 11, I have the Seattle Seahawks. I'm almost all in on this team. Their defense is great. Their offense, Sam Darnold is proving me wrong. I think Sam Darnold is having a great year so far. JSN has been a top 3 receiver in football this year. And Seattle is putting together something that is better than what they've done the past few seasons with Geno Smith. So Seattle, I have them at number 11. Getting into the top 10, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're up 5 spots. And another great win. DK Metcalf, long touchdown. The defense made a stop when it mattered to end the game. Aaron Rodgers continues to play solid. And Pittsburgh, looking at their division, this could be a great year for Pittsburgh. Their division is not in the greatest shape. And Pittsburgh could potentially win the AFC North this year, which is something that many people would not have said 4 weeks ago. And that's why Pittsburgh's in the top 10. They're looking like a solid football team, looking better than they did last year. And they move up 5 spots. Number 9, I have the Green Bay Packers, who they put together a complete defensive game in week 3. And in week 4, their offense was great. Jordan Love has been exceptional through 4 weeks, has been one of the statistically better quarterbacks in the NFL. Romeo Doubs had 3 touchdowns. Green Bay has been solid, but we know, judging on their first 2 weeks, they could be a lot better. And they go into their bye week that they very much needed. And they're going to come out of this bye week probably playing a lot better, but need to put together a complete football game. That is Green Bay's problem at this point. Number 8, I have the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not too down on them following their loss. They made 1 or 2 mistakes that could have won them that game. And this Colts team is still very good. I think they're going to do great things this year. Daniel Jones had his first couple turnovers. A.D. Mitchell made a couple big mistakes in that game. The defense was still pretty good. And the Colts, I think, are still a top 10 team. I have them at number 8. Number 7, I have Tampa. They were terrible in the first half, but in the second half, they were by far the better football team. They just couldn't put together enough points late to come back and win. Baker had a great game. Bucky Irving, Egbuka. That offense is really good. It's the young talent mixed with the old talent. It puts together a great football team offensively and defensively. They were a lot better in that second half. They did not let Jalen Hurts and Saquon do pretty much anything over most of that game. And Tampa's looking like a solid football team despite their first loss. Number 6, I have the LA Chargers. They take their first loss against the Giants, where they lose Joe Alt. And not having Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater obviously showed the Giants' D-line got to Justin Herbert in that game. And the Chargers are still doing exceptionally well this season. Quentin Johnston is a top 5 receiving yard leader at this point. That's something I would have not thought going into the season. And the Chargers have looked like a good team, but just a bad loss against a team that was winless. And the Chargers will look to get back in the win column against the Commanders. Number 5, I have the Chiefs. And yep, this team is still good. They put together a great game over the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes had his best game in years, throwing for 4 touchdowns. It just shows that Xavier Worthy changes this offense. It adds so much speed. and their defense completely shut down Lamar Jackson and that Ravens offense in this game. And I think Kansas City is in a great spot, and this team is looking like themselves following 3 weeks of football where they did not look like themselves. Number 4, I have the Rams. I'm high on this team. Puka Nacua is having a generational season so far, is by far the best receiver in football. And they also have Kyren Williams. They also have Devontae Adams. That offense is insanely good. Their defense is good. They forced turnovers against the Colts. And this Rams team, I think, should easily win the NFC West. And I think they're going to do great things this year. So I have them at number 4. Number 3, I have the Detroit Lions. They jump up one spot. And just another complete football game. They beat the Browns, where their offense just contributing, different people scoring all over. That's been this offense for years at this point, and the defense completely shut down the Browns offense, and just a complete football game from the Lions. And once again, they're one of the best teams in football. Number 2, I dropped the Bills a spot just because the team that's at number 1, I think, got another marquee win. Buffalo, another complete game. This team is going to probably be the 1 seed in the AFC this year. I think they're by far the best team in the AFC. And Josh Allen just continues to be one of the best quarterbacks in football. He has another shot at a back-to-back MVP, and the Bills are just a great football team at this point in the year. But number 1, I have the defending champions. It took me a little while for me to put them at number 1, but beating the Rams and Buccaneers puts them here. It was scary in both games, but the Eagles just found a way to get it done, and that's just championship football. And once Jalen Hurts starts playing well, this team is going to be scarier than they were last season. So that's why I have them at number 1. And that's going to do it for this week's Power Rankings. If you liked it, hit that like button and subscribe. Comment if you disagree with me, and I'll see you in the next one.